Okay, here we are. A delivery just arrived literally 5 seconds ago. I just grabbed it and turned the video on straight to record. So let's dive in and take a look. Well, probably should have arranged getting all the tape undone before starting the video, possibly. Let's have a go at tearing it open instead then. I can only assume I'm opening it from underneath, despite the label being on the top. Almost revealed what it is. So we have some MDF terrain, courtesy of Tabletop Scenics, and we've got the Pitchstone Crossroads obviously for Deadman's Hand, and the Pitchstone Grand Hotel. So there it is arrived, and we will get them built up and painted, and maybe if I get a chance I'll do that as a video as well, but very soon hopefully we'll have a bit of terrain to try out Deadman's Hand. So a moment ago you saw the terrain arrive by post, and here we have the terrain built. And apologies, it's going to be a bit of a PowerPoint presentation throughout this. I'm not struggling to get my phone set up and be able to record and running out of space, so sometimes images are best, so bear with me. But I'm going to go through the those two kits built and just give you an overview of how they look. Now this is the first kit built. We have this is kind of a one piece, so it's 3 buildings joined together as a one piece, although these top sections do lift off, so this is essentially 3 stories here. And each one individually lifts, and this is a second story here. Same here, you can see it a bit better here. So each of these sections are removable, so you can have people inside during the games. So that's the first kit, and it also has this little corner piece in the same kit, which is not a very good picture there, apologies, but we might be able to see it in game. Well, not in game, but laid out on the board. So that was the first kit built, and I've just put it on a desert map that I've got just to see how they look, and just drop some men on there to have a look at scale. So the scale works just about right. So looking at the door height, looks good. They sit nicely on banisters, you know, down on the knee, and they're still shooting over it quite nicely. And I think you'll agree, it looks really good. The great thing is I don't need to paint it straight away. I think being a wood MDF terrain actually works quite well. I will paint it at some point, but I've got so many projects on, I'm afraid this would take a long time for me to paint, so I'm going to at the moment just get by with MDF, and I think it's still workable. So that is the first pack out of that delivery made, and I think already it looks pretty good on the board. So the next part, or the next pack, was the Grand Hotel, which is absolutely huge. It's only a 2-story building, but it's really large. But what this one came with is a layer of decking underneath, which I do want to buy for all the buildings. So that's another TTS separate purchase. You can buy the decking on its own to lift up. If we go back to this screen, for example, you can see they're straight onto the sand. So I think having the decking underneath just looks a bit better, so I do want to do that for the terrain I've already built. So again, it's liftable, so this roof you can lift off to gain access to the top floor, and then the top floor you can lift off again to gain access to the bottom floor. I've not took any images of internals. I should have done that maybe, but the internals are quite plain, there's nothing in there. So I think eventually it'd be nice to get some like little resin terrain, like beds and chairs and tables, things like that would look really good. So you can have some gunfights internally as well. Sorry, wrong way. And that is the all three or two sets, kind of three separate buildings, but the two sets on the board already gives a bit of a high street feel. And yeah, and then I've just put the men on the Grand Hotel there just to give a view of the scale of the Grand Hotel, so you can see it's just absolutely huge. These are 28mm models, and it's pretty tall. But I think this is about 18 or 20 pounds, and I think this kit here is 22 pounds. So I think for the size of the terrain and what you get, it's really good value. Take a while to build up. It took probably a couple of hours to do this, and about an hour or so to do this. A lot of the time is popping these off the sprue, takes a bit of work, but they are very impressive kits. I think they're just the right balance of cost and quality of and intricacy of design. I think I've got it just right with the TT Combat. I think you get cheaper MDF terrain at times, but it's very flat, the terrain features, whereas this does, little added little extras like the mortar falling off from seeing brickwork underneath, and then adding some a bit more 3D features, so windowsills and beams and things like that just gives a little bit of a extra touch to it. And yeah, so pretty happy with the terrain. I'm going to buy a couple more pieces. I ideally want to build a bit of a town square. I've got a picture in my mind, but pretty much if you go onto the TT Combat website and look at the Pitchstone terrain, you'll see the sort of things they've got, where they've got all the terrain laid out that you can buy as one in a village format or a western town format, and it looks really good. So that's the same look I want to go for. I'd probably buy another mat, because the desert, it's okay, but it's a bit too desert like. I'd rather have a bit more of an arid sort of western look, but for now this will do. And that's it. That's where we are with Deadman's Hand. Just a little picture of the warband so far. So that's 10 men done. I've got another 5 to do. Bit of a fuzzy picture, I'm afraid. But these sprues actually come with these little skulls and a couple of cactuses as well, so, and a stick of dynamite, so you can just lay some stuff down on the bases, which is quite good as well. Still need to touch up a few things, so paint the edges of the bases, and I was going to paint the sand, but you know what, after I put it on, I thought it looks probably look more realistic being natural, left natural. If we go back to here, some of these pictures, it just blends in quite nicely with the desert board. So I will keep the sand look, but the models are pretty cool, really quite good, about just about the right variety to create different models. Got little sheriff badges, so you can make a law gang if you want. But yeah, it's good. There we are with Deadman's Hand. So bit while since I've done a video, so I've just knocked this one out really fast so I can get something out. And I have got a Waterloo video coming shortly, where I'm going to review or give my thoughts on the 100-day campaign book, so look out for that. That will be coming soon. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you again shortly. Bye bye for now.